What expectations have you had to let go of when it comes to outings?
Yeah. Well, not to have too high of expectations, that's for sure. I know that something can happen that a trip is going to be cut short. So it's especially frustrating when you're going somewhere really far away. Like if we're just going around the corner to your pool and it starts raining, fine. There might be one kid with a meltdown and I have to deal with that. Um, but yeah, I low expectations, being okay with like changing gears and being able to handle if there is a meltdown. Like what do you do if you have a meltdown when you're out?
Oh, well, like hopefully I am well regulated before.
Yeah.
That's the ideal situation. Stay calm and just manage it and like not care what anybody's thinking.
Yeah.
And it just depends where we're at. Sometimes I have to like remove him from the situation. Other times, like if he like drops to the floor and is like laying down or whatever, I will just sit there and try to stay calm. And yeah, there are times where I have to kind of scoop him up and go to the car and that's it. Leave.
Do you always leave?
It depends. Like I've learned to read a meltdown. There's a difference between just a tantrum and a meltdown. If it's just a tantrum, fetchy, sometimes I'll see if we could try again. But other times I'm not like regulated enough to be able to like handle it, or I'm just drained from that and just having people around, and it's hard. It's hard on me. It's something I have to work on, like really not caring. It's a complicated question. A lot of times I do leave. It's hard. Like I'm like an escape. That's like something that in my personality, like if things are hard, I just want to run. So yeah, it's something I need to work on, like try to give it a chance again and more often than just kind of say we're done and we're leaving. But
how do you deal with it, like with your other kids? Like if you're all out together and he has a meltdown, everybody just needs to go home. I'm talking to myself too, because that,
right. Well, it depends. If a lot of times, like if we go out as a family the kids are all different ages, but a lot of times we'll take two cars. And so one of us will stay and one of us will go if we have to. And that's a lot of times we take two cars. Like, for example, there was like a party at like our local synagogue for like a holiday. And like, we actually, one thing we do a lot of times when it comes to outings and parties and gatherings is like, we'll go early because it's less crowded and he can kind of go in, feel comfortable, run around, get a feel of the room and where we're at, and then get comfortable. And then a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times as it gets crowded, it's harder and like it's overstimulating. So when that happened, we brought two cars. We kind of knew that would happen. So we brought two cars to begin with. And when it was enough, I left. My husband stayed with the older kids and that worked. It's kind of a bummer, like that we, like the whole family can't always like be together the whole time. I think it is hard for the older kids. It is what it is now. They do understand. I'm very open. We talk about it, but it's still disappointing. But it's just where we're at the moment. What about you?
Yeah, I definitely depends if I'm solo or if I have my husband with me or a friend with me. I have been to play spaces and I've had one child having a tantrum. I've had meltdowns, and if I try to make sure everybody else is like safe or like just like entertained and distracted or just safe. That's really my number one thing. And then I will get on their level and I'll try to see if like I'm able to talk it out. Like sometimes talking is not going to help. Like it's just, if it's a meltdown, it's like really just a meltdown and you just have to let them ride. Like,
be present.
Yeah. So I get down on their level. I try to see if we could talk it out, or I just like hold them really tight and just kind of let them ride the waves of it and then see if like they're going to calm down. I've had situations where that's been good. Like I can just like hold them for 20 minutes. We'll have a snack together and then like, okay, I'm ready to play. Or it's escalating, or there'll be like other kids around that it's like escalating with. And I've just been like, we're going. And like, I just like grab as many kids as I can get in my hands and we just go. And it also depends if I'm regulated too. 100%. I can't, it's really hard to stay regulated. Sometimes I just hold it together. I'll get everybody in the car and I'd like burst out crying. Like it's just so
there.
much.
Yeah.
It's so much. And like, I feel like when that's happened, my kids usually by the time we're in the car, everyone kind of is calm, of course, and it's just like I look like the crazy one that started this whole mess, you know.
Well, yeah. Well, what do you do? Like, is there anything you do to like regulate before outings? Like, is there anything you do just self-care to like kind of get yourself mentally prepared for an outing? Because you never know how it's going to go. You really do have. People don't realize like the mother has to be regulated. That's like your best chance at success, I feel like. So what do you do to kind of...
So like, I feel like we pick up coffee before we go out.
Yeah.
And I think that's how we self-medicate for sure.
Or like a crispy Diet Coke. Oh my God.
So good.
Yeah. So specific.
It hits.
It does. Yeah.
That is honestly a big part. If I have a really good drink on my way to a kid's outing, I feel like it's going to be a good day.
Snacks. Like they need their snacks. I need some snacks.
Yeah.
And I also like when I get dressed normally.
Yeah.
When I just kind of put on like a t-shirt dress and a sweatshirt and leggings, I do that sometimes because sometimes I need to just get ready and go, but I don't really feel so great. And it affects my mood. When I put on makeup and I look nice.
Yeah, I can relate.
But nice, I feel better. And it does affect my overall mood. Like, that's just me.
Does it make you feel like you're going to stay out longer? Like it's going to be more of like an outing, not just like, we'll just see how it goes.
I don't know. I think I just need to feel like myself.
I get that.
I think with all of this whole journey, I think one fear I had in the beginning was like, am I going to still be myself? Because I like to have fun. I like my independence. I think that knowing that I'm still me, even though the trajectory of parenthood looks different, it does help me feel calm. And so
I get that.
When I kind of take a moment to make sure that I'm taking care of myself, and also like it's not even just the day of the outing. I think exercising, like I like my walks. I take walks almost every single day if it's not raining. And that just helps me stay regulated. Like I know that I'm taking care of myself. And ideally the walk is alone. Like, yeah, I do take my son on walks because he likes walks too. But sometimes I'll take him on a walk. And then later after he goes to bed, I'll go on my own walk because I like having that alone time.
You get to quiet your brain.
Yeah. And it's okay. You're allowed to. Like, mom, like, it's so important. And so all this stuff, like maintenance, kind of helps you when you're in these situations where you're going out and it's hard. Outings are not the same when your child is neurodivergent. It's just not. It's unpredictable. And there's other people around. It's like you have that judgment. Like, how do you handle comments from other people or looks from other people? What's something that you do? Like,
yeah, I really don't care.
Really?
Not really. I've had situations where people have said comments and I have said like, mind your business or F off. Like,
really?
Like if you're like, don't talk to me if I look stressed, like with my kid. Like I will react in that way sometimes. Yeah. It's definitely happens. Yeah. But I just know like it's going to happen. I just try to shrug it off and just ignore it. I feel like my husband is always like the one that's like, sit down. Yeah. Like I can get maybe reactive sometimes. Spicy. A little bit actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. What about you?
Like say, oh, my child has this diagnosis or that. Do you ever go there?
I found myself saying, he's just super sensitive to loud noise or things like that. I've never said like a diagnosis. I just said he's sensitive to that. Like I definitely have mentioned that. What about you?
Oh, it's hard. I've gone both ways too. Sometimes I'll just shut off and like ignore people around me, just even though I see the looks and I just completely
it's true. You can see them from behind, you know? Like
you feel it. It's overwhelming. But I don't think I've said any diagnosis. I've thought about it though. Like even like sometimes I don't want to use it as a crutch either. Like I want to take the situation as it is, even for my own child. Mm-hmm. Like I don't want even him to always kind of use it as an excuse. I want him to be able to rise to the occasion and know in himself, like, okay, I have a challenging time with this, but it doesn't mean I have to say, oh, I'm autistic, so therefore, I use it. There's a balance. It's like use it as an excuse, but also it's okay to like have accommodations and for people to understand. So I'm very mixed when it comes to this. Like it's something I think about a lot. And I think it could be situational. Like I was reading a book It's called Responsible and Responsive Parenting in Autism. I really like it. And there's a situation where this mother of a child that's autistic was traveling, and he had made a lot of progress. He was verbal at this point. I believe he was like a teenager, and they knew that going through security was going to be overstimulating. And she was debating whether or not to tell the staff there that he's autistic. And I hope I'm remembering it right. I think she decided not to, just to kind of see how he could handle the situation. But it would have been also like a correct decision if you felt that you wanted to say something. There are even services at airports that you can call the airport like a couple days in advance and like let them know that your child's autistic and it's hard for them to go through security, and they let you go through quicker. You can call airlines and they can let you board first if you decide to do that. So all this stuff is like taking into account, like, do you want to ask for accommodations, or do you think your child could kind of handle the situation? I don't know. It is really difficult. But again, back to like just a regular outing. Yeah, I think as I get more experience, I'm trying to just care less what people think. But again, I think so this is like veering off into like doctor's appointments, but I did call the dentist before the first dentist appointment and let them know in advance he's on the spectrum. And I was like, should I say something? Should I not? And I was so happy I said something because they were so nice. They were so patient. They gave us extra time. And he did amazing.
That's
I've never
awesome.
sent you that video.
Yeah, he did.
He was just so calm, so cool, like better than any of my other kids at their first dentist appointment. He was just, or maybe it was because he was autistic. He was like, so I don't know, maybe it was like he was checking out or something. I don't know what it was, but I actually think that because there was very low demands and they were so accommodating and nice, like it really allowed him to kind of be calm.
That's incredible.
So yeah, that was a long answer.
No, it's good. I actually think that this kind of leads into the like preparing, because if you know you have an appointment coming up and you want to prepare your son for it, you should prepare the office too, maybe. Like I think that was a great call, because if you're preparing him, like, okay, these might be some sensory sensitivities you're going to have. Like when I go to the dentist, I prepare my kids. Speaking of doctor's appointments and dentists, I'm the type of mom that likes to tell them everything that's going to happen. Some people don't want to tell them if they're going to get a shot or whatever the noise of the drill. I need to tell my kids all of those things because they already know that it's coming. They get very anxious knowing if they want to know if they're going to get a shot. Are they getting a cavity filled? Like, I don't like to trick them and pretend it's not happening. So I feel like that falls under the category of preparing for an outing. I kind of talked to them about it before, and
that's smart.
As well as I think you made a really good call. If you know that there's a chance he's going to like keep going in and out of the chair, anything like that, telling them ahead of time it's great. Then everybody's on board. So
I hear that. Yeah, back to like preparing for kids. I do that too. Like I'll talk to him. I'll be like, okay, this is where we're going. This is what we're doing. And even if he's like looking the other way, he actually does. I know he's absorbing more information. And even like, for example, I take him on this walk, and sometimes we're able to go to the park and sometimes we're not. And I usually know in advance if we're able to stop at the park, and I will tell him we're going to the park today or we're not going to the park today, because if he passes that, he knows directions really well. So if we pass the park and we don't turn in, he gets upset every time, whether or not I prepare him, but it actually makes a difference whether it's a meltdown or just like a regular crying or disappointed. That's fine. Like, but it always makes a difference if I say in advance at the house, we're going on a walk, but we're not going to the park. So again, he still cries either way if we don't go, but at least it's not a full blown meltdown. So yeah, that's like the difference between, you have to, if you decide to prepare other people, that's up to you, but like definitely prepare. I agree with you, preparing your child. And I always did that even with my older kids too. I remember once the dentist was annoyed at me because one of my kids was getting a filling, and I said, they're going to drill your tooth. She's like, why would you tell them they're going to drill your tooth?
Yeah.
Like, because you are. Like, she's like, I was just going to say it was tickle, tickle, tickle. I know my kids. They want to know the truth.
Same.
They're very literal. And they're even interested. They want to look it up after. Like it's like
Same. My kids need to know.
yeah.
They are not going to fall for any of that. That's
right. They like the details. A lot of kids that are sensitive and has your child ever or any of your kids ever surprised you during an outing with like you thought it was going to be hard and it was way easier, or if you thought it was going to be really easy and then
all the time. Yeah, definitely. For me, a big trigger when we go to places that have like gift shops. So like I've had times where I'm like literally covering their eyes, like don't look, we're passing a gift shop. Or like I've had my son be like, no, like I see there's a gift shop, I know we're not buying toys today, and I'm just like, I don't trust it. I don't trust that. But like that's definitely something that comes up a lot. Like if they're not gonna like overreact or like demand to have a toy, that's like a really, really big one for us. But what about you?
If I was ever
surprised by an outing, like it went better than you thought.
Outings all the time, because I don't even like to do. I'm the type that like I get so overwhelmed by the thought of having outings. It's really hard. I do it because I know that it's good for him to like experience the world, but like I have to be pushed. You always push me because you do outings all the time.
Yeah, I need to go out.
And I know I need to, but I get so sometimes I'd rather just like hide in the house, because it's when you go out in the world, you see the differences more. It's overwhelming. You never know if it's going to be overstimulating, all these things. But yes, the answer is I've definitely been surprised. Like, for example, going the first time I took him to Target.
Yeah.
That I was scared. I went to the Target parking lot like a couple times before I actually took him in because I was scared. And then he surprised me. He loves he loves sitting in the shopping cart and looking around.
Target is a safe outing for me.
By
the way.
Same. Now it's like, okay, I know we can go to Target. There's something about it.
It's clean. There's space. I can get a coffee.
Yeah.
There's something for everyone.
Yeah. Totally. So that for sure. And then even other places, like where have we gone? Different. We tried to go to there's one park that has like a science museum and an outdoor area. Sometimes we've gone there a couple of times. Sometimes it went really well. And I was like, wow, it's such a big park and he did great. But then last time we went 2 weeks ago, it was like a hot mess.
What does going well mean? Does it mean there was no meltdown? Or does it mean he had a good time?
No meltdown is one. And also, that he was engaged. Not like running off.
He was present.
Yeah, that he was present, engaged, and having fun and not having a meltdown. So that means it's a success for sure. So
having fun.
But yeah, having fun.
Not like trying to like get out of there.
Or not trying to run.
Yeah.
Just leave. So I actually think I need to take more risks and go on more outings and try new things. It's just always back to like making sure that I'm regulated. I need to make sure that I'm mentally prepared for it. And there is an escape plan. Like I try to park as close to like wherever we are in case I need to leave.
What about, have you ever gone out to eat as a family, like with him?
Yes, we went. So
actually, we've gone for pizza once, right?
Yeah,
we did go for pizza,
but it was hard. It was like I had to keep it like.
It's exhausting going out.
He only likes frozen pizza, so. He didn't want. I tried. I was like, "This is better. I promise. This is like." And he's like, saw like the melty gooey cheese, and he's like, of course he didn't want it. And like sometimes he likes French fries, sometimes not. So I tried. Of course, that day, nope. So I had to just bring out my own snacks at the pizza shop. So, but it was fine. I just had to keep the snacks coming, keep him busy.
And you keep him busy. That's what.
You keep him busy.
There's no chilling.
We did go out to like just like a fast food kind of like burger spot.
Yeah.
Last year, and it was the same thing. You kept trying to run out, and we just kept having to like keep him busy. It went better both times. It went way better than I thought. I definitely thought it was not going to happen. We'd have to leave. It was okay. It wasn't like the most relaxing experience. It was, me or my husband has to be on, like, and we have to like take turns. Like, okay, you could eat now, and I'm on duty.
That's what's hard.
It's not a relaxing experience, that's for sure.
It's good exposure. And practice.
It is. It's more like, let's do this because it's good for him.
Yeah.
That you have to kind of go into the executive when it comes to that. Like, it's not for us, we'll go on date nights, we'll do our thing, go out with the older kids and get a babysitter if we need to, but like, yeah, it's not for, it's more just teaching life skills if we're going out to eat.
Yeah, that's such a true point. I have to tell one of my sons, like he thinks if he finished his plate, we're all leaving.
Right.
So I have to be like, you need to sit here and we can just talk, we can bond.
And be aware of others. It's also teaching like, okay, you finished, but other people didn't.
Exactly.
So be patient and be aware.
Yeah, and being mindful of the other people in the restaurant. Everybody's eating their food. Nobody wants to hear screaming. We're going to try to sit nicely. Let's sit on our hands. It does not last long, but I do it for the practice. Like some families maybe will go out for pizza because they don't want to make a mess in the house and it's like convenient. Yeah. It's not really convenient for us. Obviously, we've had times when we need to grab something to eat. And so that was our option. But it's same. It's not a relaxing experience.
Is there anything that like you use, any outings that you used to avoid that now you kind of figured out the formula of how to do it?
Interesting. I think I've just come up with routines in general, making sure I pack my bags in advance of the activity. I have all my snacks. I have their water bottles. A couple of my kids always need to have like a toy in their hand, like a fidget or something. So make sure that they have something that they want. And I feel like it's making sure you have everything that you need for the day out so that you don't have to like make extra stops to have to like go anywhere else. That's one thing for me. What do you do for any extra accommodations?
I'm trying to think if there's like a specific thing that I figured out that I didn't figure out before. Like, I definitely agree with you. Whatever the activity is, I need
just
to
have all the things
ideally before like he even gets up. Like, have everything packed.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Gets up, extra clothes. If he spills or water, all that stuff needs to be prepared. This is basic stuff even for just having
absolutely
typical kids, but it's way more intense. Like when he's ready to go, it's like now. Like,
that's making me think about not like telling my kids too far in advance either. Like for me, like like do you prep your son like how far in advance of going out? Like, because if you say going bye-bye, like he's he's opening the door, like he's ready to go.
But sometimes when I'm regulated,
I
will try to say it before we're ready to go. I'll tell him that we're going and he wants to go that second, but sometimes I have to delay it, and sometimes I'll consciously do it because I think it's important for him to realize, like, just because you're ready to go now doesn't mean we're going to go right now. You have to learn how to wait. Teaching patience, like it's like that whole thing of like accommodating, but also teaching him life lessons. Like it's like push, pull. I feel like I'm always doing that. I'm like pushing and trying to teach him how to handle his feelings in certain situations. And then other times being like, like making him feel safe. Like, yeah, sometimes I will accommodate and will be sensitive to differences. It's really hard, but I'm not going to accommodate every single time. And just because he's ready to go this minute, we have to go this minute. Like it's complicated. Sometimes I'm up for, helping him through that meltdown. Other times I'd rather avoid the meltdown altogether, but I'm not going to always avoid the meltdown because I don't think that is going to be good for him in the long run.
And are you able to be spontaneous with an outing? Like, can you just be like, okay, we're going? Or like, how does that go? Like, is that an option?
It's rare to be spontaneous. Well, I'm not I'm such a planner. Like,
you're a planner, yeah.
I don't love spontaneity when it comes to like almost anything.
Fair.
I really like planning, researching like things in advance and like knowing everything about where we're going and what's going to happen there. And it doesn't always work out.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you ever been like, this is going to be the perfect outing of the day, and then went and it wasn't? Like, I mean that, yeah, but I'm saying like a specific place, not a situation. Let's say like
there's that one center. There's like a great center. It's like very sensory. It's very accommodating to kids of all needs. It's wonderful. We have a membership there. He goes all the time.
Yeah, we like that place.
Yeah, I've been there a couple times, and I had to leave like immediately. Like I went there, and like he kept kind of crying out of nowhere, and I didn't understand why. And I tried to like sit there and calm him down. And like I think he probably like remembered something that happened, but he's minimally verbal, so he wasn't really able to tell me.
I remember
And
this.
I was like, I just tried, and no matter what I did, he just kept crying, and he was like really sad. It wasn't a meltdown; it was just like he was so sad.
He was triggered by something.
Something happened, and so yeah, I had to leave. I was so surprised. Usually, I know when I go there, I want 1 hour at least, sometimes longer. So that was surprising.
I remember that. That was really hard.
You came right after. That was
we missed each other.
Yeah, we make plans, and sometimes it works out where we're there together.
I think my kids had a meltdown that day also.
Oh yeah, I think
said that. Yeah. There was something in the air. What about people's houses?
Oh, that's hard. That's really hard. That was actually people's houses. Like one of the first signs that I knew that he was different.
Really?
When he was really young, like I would take him to people's houses. Like let's say we were invited for like lunch or like a meal or a barbecue or something, and he would just not want to go either not want to go out of his stroller or just like kind of crying and it like was so overwhelmed. And I was like, oh, he's sensitive, or like, you know, maybe I just don't take him out enough. He's not used to it. And that was like one of the first like signs that something was different, because he could get overwhelmed with people's homes. It depends on the home. He picks up on energy. It's like an amazing quality. Like he reads a room. He can feel like any tension at all. And he just feels like, if there's a lot of people and if there's a lot of kids, and he just picks up so much that he gets overstimulated. That's really the main.
Do you know if he prefers if there are more kids, or like he is the only kid? Like, does he have sharing issues, or because that comes up for us too? Like,
not so much yet, I don't think. I am trying to teach him how to share. Yesterday he shared his popsicle with my daughter.
It's so cute.
It's really sweet. But yeah, it's more just like lots of running. If there's a lot of kids running around, I think that could be overwhelming.
Yeah. Same.
A lot of, not even lots of kids, also just a lot of things happening. Like in like a Shabbat meal, right? It's like there's courses and there's clearing. After every course, you're clearing there's just a lot going on. So I think that could be overwhelming sometimes. Like if some friends, they have like a separate playroom that's kind of far off. So that could be helpful. But so a lot of times I learn like I have to bring a babysitter with me.
Yeah.
Or I'm not basically able to participate in the meal.
Right. Otherwise you're sitting in the playroom the whole time.
Yeah. So it's either that. So that has happened a few times. And then I just, for now, a lot of times if we're invited somewhere, I'll bring a babysitter, because otherwise it's not enjoyable.
Well, you've learned to make it work for the family. Like you want him to come.
I want him to come because it's a good life experience. I want him to interact with other kids.
And be with the family.
The family unit. But it's hard.
It's so hard.
Inviting people, if we have people over too, I definitely have to have like help with me.
You need help. Yeah.
It's impossible for me to be serving and hosting if there's a lot going on and he's overstimulated, and I need to make sure that he's good. What about you? How are out at like
people's houses? Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's gotten way easier as they've gotten older. Yeah. Back in the early days, oh my goodness, I would really only go to my sister's houses. Like we lived in New York, and he had a really, really hard time with the sharing, and it was very hard for me because I was always what's the word? I just always had to. Wow. Yes, like a referee. Yes, that's the word. Constantly. And like there was like very little reasoning, especially if it was a toy that was like his interest, like a train or a specific car thing. Like, yeah, that would make it really, really difficult navigating the sharing. And, you know, when you're at other people's houses and they have kids and they have things, oh, don't touch this, don't touch that. I'm like, just put it all away then. Yeah. If it's out, I always say to my kids, if we have people over, if it's out, it's available. Yeah. Like yes, I can use everything for a teaching moment, but sometimes you just, especially if you're at someone's house for lunch, you want to be able to chill a little bit. So I'm like, okay, don't touch this, don't touch this. And I just have my kids screaming the entire time. I've had meals where I've left early and I've been like, yeah, to my husband, like, yeah, you can just stay.
All the time. Oh yeah, that whole thing of people's, like when you can't touch this, can't touch this, that
is major trigger for my kids.
Yeah.
I get it.
I just running. No, it's awful when you're
And sometimes, a lot of moms know that kids have a hard time sharing, but sometimes they'll be like really shocked by the big reactions. I think that has taken me back sometimes, like that my son is having such a meltdown because their kid doesn't want to share their car. And they'll just like, sometimes they'll take the car and they'll put it into their room and then they're like, okay, I put it away. You can't play with it. My son will still like, he will be stomping and screaming there, and people have been like, wow, like just for that, like you don't understand. It's not just because he loves cars. I mean, he loves cars. Yeah. Like he loves them more than anything. He would rather hold the car that he wants than have like 100 candies. Like it's just something that not everybody can understand.
Right. It's deep. It's deeper.
It's very deep. So that was really hard in the early days. Now there's more negotiating. Like we can just talk about it, and he still might be really upset and then beg to leave and make me absolutely insane until like try to get me to leave. But we are also practicing not leaving right away. Like just because you're done or you got mad about something and you're saying I want to leave, and I'm like, sorry, like we're gonna wait.
Have you ever dealt with like him just leaving, whether it was time to go or not, like eloping or just running off or any stuff like that?
Early days. Okay. Like when he was younger, he would always just try to like open the door and go. Yeah, absolutely.
Have you ever had to use a leash?
We did use leashes, especially like at the zoo. Yeah. We get hilarious looks. I've also used those, they have these things you can attach, one to your kid's wrist, one to your wrist. Have you ever seen those?
Like a rope?
It's kind of like a rope in between you. It's like a bungee cord in between. I've used those.
Figure it out how to get it off. He's so good with like figuring out any sort of like safety mechanism.
Yeah,
he has to figure it out.
Have you ever used a leash? I've never seen it,
but we've talked about it.
I've used a leash backpack.
Okay.
So like it attached to the backpack.
It would be helpful. I could see it being helpful. There's something about it that I have this resistance to.
Yeah.
But the rope thing sounds good.
Because like if they just try to let go of your hand, then you're still attached. Yeah. That's the idea.
We definitely try to figure it out. He doesn't like things like on him. Like people talk about like trackers. I'm like, he would figure out a way to get that tracker off.
Yeah, it's true.
Because he's good with very fine motor, like figuring stuff out.
We definitely use trackers. And
you use trackers?
Yeah. My older son now has like a watch where I can text and call him. Nobody else can, just me and my husband. But we did air tags like when he was younger on the belt loop. And people were so mean about that. So for all of you that judged me, like honestly, they have no idea.
I remember one time he got dropped off at the wrong
Yes.
stop.
You know what?
I remember how worried you were.
That was terrifying. He once got dropped off at the wrong bus stop and walked home with a strange man I have never seen in my life. And he's like, oh, Mom, he helped me get home. Great. Thanks, sir. That is so scary. In Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Thank God I had a tracker. I know that it can look like I'm just paranoid, but
it's not. It's different.
When you have an impulsive and fearless child, there's no such thing as paranoid. Yeah. Like you should be afraid of any like you need to be prepared for any situation. I mean, you don't need to be afraid. I mean, you should be prepared for anything. And I am so glad he had that. I had one on his backpack. I would put it on his belt loop. I mean, I've seen people put them in their kids' shoes. I mean, you could lose a shoe.
Yeah, you could lose a shoe. Or what if like they have an accident and you take off that pair of pants? Like,
yeah, you have to, especially if I know that also like they're in camp now, if they're going on trips every day, like he doesn't always wear his watch, but I'll try to make sure that his watch is charged, and I have to make sure it's charged for him because I'll forget it, obviously. But yeah, definitely have used leash, use trackers. You got to use all the tools.
Deal with like in kind of going into an outing that you know is going to be overstimulating. I think we touched on it already, but
we don't go there. Actually, it happened recently with my friend. We were planning an outing with our kids, and we have like sensitive kids, and I just don't think she realized that it was going to sound like a rave when we walked in, and we had literally like seven kids with us, and it was so loud, and we were like, we made a mistake. Like we walked in there, we're like, we made a mistake. What are we going to do? Yeah. So for her, it's a little bit easier to just like be like, okay, we're gonna go to a new spot. For me, my mind started like racing. I was like, okay, how do I want to deal with this? My kids are gonna be so angry that we're leaving. To suddenly say we're going to this new place that I did not prepare them for is like a whole other thing.
Right, changing.
And I had to make that decision really fast. I'm like standing at the cashier. There's a line behind me. My kids are already like 1 foot into the play space that we arrived at. And I was just like, I just like bit my tongue and then I'm like, okay, we can do this. And I'm like, guys, I'm so sorry. This place does not look like it's for our age. Everybody already starts whining and screaming. And I'm like, I can handle this. I'm like, I was so proud of us, honestly. Like, we can handle this. We are going to go to a new place. It's going to be, you know how, I even said to them, you know how this place is very loud and we're not going to be able to see you, like, look at all the tall structures. I was explaining it to them. This is not a safe place for us. Even though they were so angry, I actually was like able to get through to them. We all went into the car. We went to the new spot, and that's a good example of surprising me. I maybe had a bribe, actually. Like, we did go to Walmart and I had to get ice cream afterwards. So, like, actually it wasn't so perfect. Yeah. But yeah, I've had situations where I'm like, this is too overstimulating. We can't do this. It's not working. It's not going to happen.
Do you try to do your research in advance?
Always.
To see what type of... Yeah.
I do not want to be in an overstimulating place. I am very sensitive. I cannot handle loud noise.
Flashing lights.
Oh my, this place had flashing lights.
That's very, very...
It actually kind of looked like one of those like carnivals with like the scary clowns and like...
Carnivals are terrible. Yeah.
That is really scary as a kid. Kids that elope are, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I took last summer, we went to this like farm. It was kind of like a farm and a carnival, and it was just like the worst. He
Horrible.
Loved the farm, the animals, but yeah, there's so much open space. I'm like, this needs to be contained. I like places that are enclosed.
We need to enclose. We need to be able to see everything and not have loud music. To be able to hear ourselves.
Yeah, loud music, just even the sudden. He actually likes music, but like the sudden like changes in music.
Mm-hmm. Like, I don't like the play structures that like you can't really see, like track them, like see where they are.
Yeah. Like that park also, that's free, that has the science museum.
Yeah.
That the you can't see your kids.
That's it freaks me out. And some people are actually fine with those spaces that they know they're like in a gate. So then they're like, they're somewhere in there. I need to be able to see them because they could be melting down in a tower somewhere. Right. Like, I've definitely had to climb up those things holding a baby at the same time. It is very scary and very overwhelming for all of us. I avoid those types of play spaces.
Right. You reminded me of a story with the park. Like one of the times that I took my son to the park, he was having a great time climbing, running around, and this was like really before we started therapy at all, and like he doesn't like people getting too close to him. Now actually he's better with it, but in the beginning it was really hard for him, and it wasn't like violent of like pushing. It was more just like, you're in my space, like kind of move. He would move his hand, so he was up on a high space, and there was 2 girls near him, like older than him, but he's really strong. He doesn't know his strength, but so he started moving them away, and they were up on a high structure, and it was terrifying. So I bolted up the slide.
Oh my God.
Grabbed him and just like held him. He really was like intent on having his space, and the girls were obviously terrified, and it was really scary. And there was a grandparent and another mom there. I felt so bad. He did not understand what he was doing, and I got just this one look from one of the adults, and of like, what is wrong with your kid? And it was so painful. One of the moms was like, oh, he's little, he didn't understand. And it was like, I was so appreciative of that grace. She actually was so nice. Anytime I would see her around, she's always so nice about it and just like sweet. But I did just first of all, not even the look from one of the adults. It was also like me. I was scared. I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't take him to a park, like without really teaching until he understands that he can't do that. And and then anytime I took him to the park after, I would have to like follow him, like literally trail him, because I was scared that he would push kids away. And it's just
that's so upsetting.
I actually didn't take him back to the park for like a while after that because I was so nervous that something that would happen again. And also it was like, unless I was mentally prepared to like literally trail him, follow him, like there's no sitting on a bench. We go to the park, but I don't sit on a bench. There's no relaxing. There's no talking to friends. It's like on. And, but yeah, it's just an example of like where, you know, other people can like show people grace. Like not every child that pushes a kid is like mean spirited.
No.
Overstimulated, or they need their space, or they haven't learned how to speak and say, hey, I need some space.
Yeah, he needed space and he wasn't aware.
Like, you know, oh, I need space, I need to leave. You need to leave. Like there's so many skills that need to happen that happen automatically for some kids, but not all kids. So that's just an example of something that I experienced. But thank God, like I had the courage to to the park. And like
you didn't let that stop you.
Yeah, I think it's just important to have that awareness of like there are people out there with kids with differences, and like when they're having a hard time, like just to show people grace and not necessarily have it's easy to have snap judgments. I feel like maybe in the past I was that mom who had snap judgment on a kid that was kind of, you know, out of control or whatever it was. And
like, oh, you just let your kid do whatever they want and push people away because they want to go on the slide or they want, you know, so it was not like that.
I guess we can end with that. Let's judge each other favorably and
have grace.
Have grace.
All right. Till next time.